Hello everyone, welcome to this session. In this session, I am going to explain the types of valves which are used in the fluid power system and the fluid flow systems. And here there are different types of the valves which are be used in the fluid power system as well as in the fluid flow systems depending upon their specific applications. I am going to explain here how these valves works and where these valves are used. First, I will take that is a butterfly valve. Butterfly means here the valve element is just it is a plate. It is a plate, and inside which will be closed its whole path, and it is supported centrally, and it is just like a butterfly. And this one, whenever the this uh, handle, if you turn that one, okay, it will be starts on opening, and it can be partially opened or completely opened, and we can keep it completely closed. And this butterfly valve is used in the large volumes of the fluid flow, particularly in the to the turbines and to the industrial applications where the large volumes of the fluid flow supply is there. There we are going to use. Next one is a ball valve. Here inside hollow element is a ball. Completely it is a spherical ball it is. In that only there is a path. Inside there is a path, and in one position when the handle of this uh, valve is along the flow path, it will be the inside wall hole what is there in the spherical ball is along the path, coincides with the flow path. Therefore, that will be get opens. The handle, if it is a right angles to the flow path, then the other part, the of the spherical ball comes in this line, and that will be stops the complete flow of the fluid. And at any other positions, the gradual flow, that is a decreased flow of the fluid will be taking place. Next one is the check valve. Check valve is which will be allows the flow in one direction, and it is not allowed the flow in other direction. Okay, that is used to stop and flow the fluid in one direction. In one direction it allows the flow, in other direction it will not allow the flow, and that is called as a check valve. And this particularly used in the hydraulic systems. And the hydraulic systems where the flow is to be stopped, we are going to use this one. And next one, diaphragm type, this one. The valve element is diaphragm. It will be normally in the open position. Whenever the valve handle is open operated, the diaphragm expands, and that will be closes the flow. And here this diaphragm can be kept in the open position or expanded position to close the flow, and that is used. This is also used in the hydraulic systems. Usually in the servo system we are going to use this diaphragm type of the valve. Next one is the needle valve. Needle valve, it is also similar to that of the ball valve, which is used in the domestic, and where the low flow rate is there, there we are going to use. And here the valve element is just like a needle, just like a needle, and this will be sits on the valve seat. The valve seat will be there in the flow path. Whenever this needle is sits on the valve seat, the path will be closed, and gradually if it is opened, the path will be get opening, then it will be the flow will be taking place, and that can be kept completely open position also. The pinch type of valve is here. The valve element is just like a pinch. How the pinching you can carry out, that is the pinch one. The during the pinch of that valve element, it will the closes the flow, and whenever the pinch is open, the flow will be taking place. Next one is that piston type. The piston means inside the cylinder, how the piston moves. Like that, here the valve element is similar to that of the piston moving in the cylinder. The piston, if it is a completely at the top portion, the flow completely flow will be taking place, full flow, and gradually if it is moving in the downward direction, partially closing up the flow path is taking place. Then when reaches to the bottom, the complete closing of the flow path, and that stops the flow in the line. Next one is the plug type of the valve. Here the valve element is used, it is just like a plug. Okay, instead of using the ball, here the plug is used. Plug is used, valve element. And during its operation, okay, the plug is having the hole in it. For its quarter turn, it will be that path will be comes in line with the flow line, and that will be get opens. The fluid will be taking place, and the path will be opens by that plug. And whenever it is closed, okay, then the other portion where the flow path is not there, that will becomes in the line, that will be closes the flow. Next one is a control valve. The control valve, usually by considering the flow control valve we are going to take here, it will be controls the flow rate. Means from the maximum flow rate to the minimum flow rate, that will be controlled by using this one. And the operation of this valve, what is there, that is by the different actuation methods. There are different actuation methods that I have already discussed in the fluid power systems. That may be electrical, manual, okay, pneumatic, or pressure control, whatever are there. There are different types of the actuation methods, and those actuation methods we are going to use for the control of the flow of the fluid. That is, it controls the fluid in the supply in the line. Then gate valve, usually it is a valve element is of type of the gate. The gate element. The gate element is there, and it will be when it is in completely open position, that will be at the top position. The flow path is completely opened. Okay, then the full flow will be taking place. Whenever the wheel of this valve you open, then the gradually it will be moving downwards. The gate will be gradually moving downwards, and that will be start stop. That is a closing of this flow path. Thereby, decrease in the flow rate will be taking place. And this type of the valve is also used in the there is a flow systems in the large quantity of the fluid flow systems in the industry as well as in the hydraulic systems we are going to use. The globe valve is of the here the two parts. It will be similar to that of the two parts of the this valve will be there, and thereby the whatever the valve element is there with the two parts which will be move in the downward direction to close the valve, and it will be to open, it will be move in the upward direction. The globe means just like a two blades, it will be closes and opens the valve path. Okay, thereby the variation in the flow will be taking place. Next type, it is a thermostatic. It is of the somewhat different types of the valve. Thermo means it is a temperature. Thermo means temperature, and the static means constant. Okay, the constant means here this valve is used to maintain the constant temperature. Where we are going to maintain the constant temperature means particularly in the refrigeration and air conditioning systems. In the refrigeration and air conditioning systems, there in the system, if the temperature is to be maintained at constant, there usually will set the particular temperature, and to maintain at that temperature, the refrigeration should be put on or off. And for that system, this thermostatic valve, what is there, it will be at particular temperature, it will be stops operating. Means if the temperature increases, then also it will stops. If the temperature decreases, then also it will stops, and thereby it is maintains the constant temperature during its operation. As the operation, if it is stopped, then that temperature will be maintained. The flow of the refrigerant will be stops, and thereby the temperature will be maintained. And there is a thermostatic valve, particularly we are going to use in the refrigeration and air conditioning systems. And relief valve, this relief valve usually the pressure relief valve, which is used in the fluid power systems. In the fluid power systems, whenever the system pressure increases above the set value, and this will be actuated by that pressure, and this pressure relief valve releases the pressure by allowing the fluid flow through this relief valve, and thereby the system pressure will be decreases, and that's why it gives the relief to the system, pressure relief to the system, and that's why This pressure relief valve is an important component in the fluid power systems, as in the hydraulics and the pneumatics. The rotary valve, the rotary valve means here the element what is there, it is a rotary type of the element. During its operation, that valve element will be rotates, and during its rotation only it will be opens and closes the flow path. And that's why during rotation, rotating element, valve element is there. That's why it is called as a rotary element. Then next one, solenoid valve. This solenoid valve is also a flow control valve which is commonly used in the fluid power systems. And this valve is actuated by the electrical power supply. Whenever the power is supplied to this one, this will be get actuated, and that can be opened or closed by that power supply. Usually the switch of the power supply we are going to use to operate this type of the valve, the solenoid valve. This is a important part of the hydraulic system also to control the flow. Regulating valve means it will maintains the constant pressure. It regulates the pressure in the system. How it will maintains the regulating pressure constant in the system means by controlling the flow. And here, whenever the pressure in the system increases, it stops the flow of the fluid. Thereby, the pressure will be decreases. Whenever the pressure in the system will be reduces below the set value, it allows the flow of the fluid through it. Then thereby the pressure in the system will be increases, and thereby it will maintains the constant pressure in the system by regulating the flow of the fluid. And that's why this pressure regulating system or valve we are going to call. Usually all the different types of the valves which are operated by the levers or and wheels, and this will be operated for the if you want to open the valve anti-clockwise, we have to rotate it. Anti-clockwise rotation of the hand wheel or a lever will opens this valve. This will be opens the valve. And then clockwise, if you rotate the clockwise, okay, the clockwise rotation of the valve will be closes the valve, where whatever the type of the valve we are going to use in the different types of the flow systems as well as the hydraulic system, anti-clockwise will be opens the valve and clockwise will be closes the valve. And these the different types of the valves whatever I am explained here. This one by one I am going to explain with their animation in the further sessions. Thanks for watching. If you like, share, subscribe and comment.